Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, wait. Am I getting an error already? What is going on? Good morning, Sean. Good to see you in the chat. Just making sure the stream is working because I got some kind of an error here. Give me a second. Making sure everything's working. Let me know in the chat if everything is looking good on your side. Let me know how you're doing today. Where are you watching from? Let me know that too. I want to make sure everything is functioning. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to check it on my phone just to make sure that we're functioning properly. Because I didn't see it come up. Alright, it looks like it's working fine. Cool, cool. Oh, nice. Pennsylvania. That's cool, Sean. I'm going to be in New Jersey next week. Jackie, good to see you. Shelly, Florida. Nice. My parents live in Florida. That's cool. I like Florida. Florida's a lot of fun. We got a few people, I think, in the paid school community that are a few Freedom Algo members that are part of the Florida crew. I think there's a few people actually. All right, let me see here. So we've got 5,585 subscribers. So we're going to set a subscriber goal. We're just going to keep it at 5,600. 5,600 subscribers is our goal. Let's get it. Can we get 15 subscribers today? That's a big goal. We're going to go for it. The likes are probably scuffed and lagging right now. So if you can, give the stream a like. And we'll go for 40 likes today. We'll just go for 40. Keep it chill. 40 likes. 15 subscribes. That's the goals. I'm not sure why it's taken forever for it to load. But hopefully everybody's here. Make sure everybody knows that we're live. Alright. Make sure I just... There we go. Put a note in the premium Discord. Alright, let's take a look. I'm going to zoom out. I want to give it a couple of minutes because it seems like people are taking a second to get into the stream today. I don't know if there's something weird with the notifications. So I'm going to give it a second before I go over all the trades. That way I don't end up repeating them because sometimes if people join a couple minutes late, they'll start asking me about the trades that I just went over. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. Sean, do I have an X account? I do, but I never log in or use it. So I don't even really I do have one under my name under Nick Bannock, and I do have one under Freedom Algo, but I don't use either one. They're just there. They just exist. But I think I used them like years ago, and I just don't really bother with it. Too many platforms. Too many platforms. I'm the most active on YouTube. And then whatever I post, whenever I post YouTube shorts, I put them on Instagram and TikTok as well. But I don't even mess with X because it's just annoying. I knew it. You see, you fell for my trap. I waited. I waited to go over the trades because I knew that people were taking a long time to get in because I've been late the last couple of times. It's because yesterday I had to deal with something in the morning, and then I had a phone call one of the days, so I waited. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. All right. Anybody that misses the trades is going to have to rewind and then watch it at 2x speed to catch up to normal. That's how they'll have to do it. All right, so as it came down in the overnight, it looked like this. So we had this high, move down, close outside. It made a close outside, and then it made another new low. So this is basically two big legs. This is really a two-legged move right here to a new low. You can see one leg and then another big leg to a new low. But then it gets a close outside and equal low anyway. So these have both of these channels here played out. I drew the range highs from there to this low. That's how I drew my overnight range high. Then we had this up channel, close outside, new high. There's a second entry here, but you see how that doesn't work. You're in the middle of a range, it can be a little dangerous, right? And that's just par for the course, and that's why this one is marked as a yellow, and I'll explain that when we get there. So then this one went up, it made one more leg up, so you got to move down, leg up, another leg up. Then it comes down. This is all in the overnight, so it doesn't really matter that much. Came down. Then you get this close outside here, makes this up channel, you get a close outside and a new high there. Makes two legs to a new low, and then you get a second entry long. So this was in the morning, pretty early. This bar closed at 5:24 a.m. Basically what you have here is you already made a new high on this channel. It's not going to the lows of the range, right? So like this swing didn't go to the low of the range, neither did this, neither did this. And you come down and you kind of make an equal low here. Now, if you draw a line across here, not exactly a triple test, but you can kind of see that we're like sort of finding some level of support there. It's not exactly a triple test or anything, but it's there. And basically what I saw here was a pullback, first entry long, pullback equal low, and then it engulfs this bar and it makes a second entry long when it breaks above this. And it's a huge bar. This bar was 28 ticks. So it's a pretty big bar. It's probably going to give you a scalp if you go long there. You got room to the highs. It's a little bit risky, of course, but it's there. It's going in the middle of a range. It can be a little dangerous to take trades, but in the overall context, it looked like we might be forming some sort of an up bearish bias to the upside. And we had this close from yesterday, and we were at this time of the day, you're thinking, all right, it's probably going to approach that level towards the open. So that's kind of how that goes. And I think that it was a decent setup. So if you took it, it makes sense. Also, it broke above and you could have dropped a limit order back further and got filled lower and then had an easy scalp on your hands. So, you know, a couple ways to play that in the pre-market. All right, this goes up. You get a close outside here. And then basically what this does is it moves up to a new high. So we had this little up channel here. You can kind of see this low, this swing, and then it bounces here for a second and then rejects. Now, when this happened, you're expecting this to make a new high. So on this push up, it does that, and it does make a new high. I don't think you want to just short this because it's just a first entry short. It might make another leg up. Now, when it goes down and gives you this equal high, this is technically a lower high because it's an equal high, so you can treat it like a lower high. But at this point, if you try to short there, it's already moved way too far to take that short. So even though it looks good in hindsight, I don't think you want to take it. And I talked to my paid community about this morning. Like, I didn't even want to mark these ones as yellow, like possible trades, because I just think that they're both too risky. You don't want to pick the top here with us making all these higher highs, higher lows. We're not going down to the lows of the range. I think you got to be careful there. It comes down into this channel and you get a first entry, second entry long that fails, but you're not looking for a failure all the way down here. It comes down and it bounces here. So then at this point, you could draw a channel from there to there as a possibility. You still need a third swing. So I drew from the low to there. You still need a third swing though. So it's there, but you can't like say for sure that it's in play. Now this perfect rejection of the midline makes it look pretty nice. But here's what we get. So I loved this trade today. I think myself and several other traders took this one. Basically, you bounce from down here and you get a pullback. So this is a first entry short right here. And then you go up and you make a second entry short with a perfect signal bar. If so, below this is a second entry short. You got a huge amount of space to the EMA. And it's exactly, like pretty much exactly a two-legged move. You see these little yellow lines? from this leg to this high, and then from here to here, it goes one tick higher than that. So it's almost a perfect measured move. It's a triple test of this level where we rejected. We already made the new high. So this is a triple test, second entry short. It's the trend line played out. So 3 confluences to tell you to take that short. You do have to sit in it for a second sideways before it goes where you think. So I know some people were a little squirrely there, but it worked. It worked well, and that's what you got to do. You got to trust your read. So it comes down. Now, when it doesn't make a new low here or even go like further down, at this point you got to look at your price action. Like let's look at it like this. So at this point when it bounces here and it comes back up, you got to look at your price action and go, okay, we keep making higher highs and higher lows in this range. Yeah, this swing down here was kind of lower than these, but overall, we're really, there's almost nothing in this lower half of this range over here. And it's all in the upper half. So you have to start to think, okay, there's a bullish bias in place. You already have this channel possibility in play. And so when it bounced here, you have to go, okay, this channel possibility is looking more likely. Like we have a bullish imbalance. We're probably going to go to the top of the range. We're probably going to fill that gap up here from yesterday's close. So you just have to be aware of all that. So when it came up here and gave us another triple test, I told people in real time, hey, I don't like this trade. I told people I don't like this setup here. And the reason for that is that we didn't go back down. So it's just too much of a bullish bias to try to short again. So for me, when it came down here and you get this little like kind of close outside new low, and then it gives you this one, this little down channel had played out, and then you get this high here. I just didn't like it. I just didn't think it was good because you also have the possibility of, look, we're swinging higher again. We just bounced off the EMA again. And good to see you, Molly. Good to see you, Matt. Good to see you, Owen. What up, everybody? Good to see you, Peter. Happy to see everybody here. Happy to see everybody. I think that's everybody. Yeah. All right, cool. Welcome, everybody who's just joining. So then I said, look, I don't like this setup. And sure enough, it would have failed anyway. And then again, even when it came here and gave you this little failed breakout of the level, I still don't think that you want to short because at this point, it's still grinding higher and we're getting really close to the close. So you have to understand the range context. You have to understand that when you get a setup like this in a range, you expect it to go to the lows of the range. If it doesn't do that, then you have to start to worry about what's going on with the bias overall. Because there's obviously pressure and it might turn into some sort of trend. So then it goes up, rejects the EMA, goes back up higher. Now at this point, you keep swinging higher. So this is a close outside here. You get one more leg to a new high, but then it keeps going higher. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, the wider channel's probably in play. We come up, we test this level, we miss the top of the range by like a tick. Twice we do that. and then we go down. So this got front run. People probably had limit orders up there to go short. Not the way I trade, but that's what people did. And then we get this channel down. Now we do bounce off this channel. Now I was calling this channel the Big Daddy channel. This is the Big Daddy channel. Let's zoom out. This is called the Big Daddy channel. Now I usually don't like Big Daddy channels that much because they're not super reliable. Like sometimes they can be, but I just drew it on there as a possibility. Now when we bounce here, and this is perfectly off the close of that red candle. Perfectly off those closes. Perfect bounce. Now it breaks out, but we don't have a new low on this short-term down channel yet. So it tries to go here. It breaks through the bottom of the channel. Not a convincing break. Comes up, makes a new high. We already have a new high here, but makes another one. Comes down. It tries to make a new low again and fails. Now on this one, I do think that there's a possibility of taking the triple test. It tries to make this new low. It fails. You get a bullish bar. It's risky. It is risky. There's a triple test there. It's starting to look like a range. It's a little risky, but I will mark that because it does qualify as a higher low triple test. But again, you don't have a new low made on this downtrend. You are expecting a new high to be made. Doesn't happen. It makes a first entry long and then makes one more leg down. Now, this is a perfect two-legged correction. So right here, you get one leg, second leg, it's perfectly to the tick. You get a basically perfect bullish bar. It's right at the level that you just broke through. It's not like a super significant level, but it's there. I think that this is reasonable to take as a second entry long. It's a really good setup. I think that even if there's a down channel bias happening, you've made the new low on this, and it's clearly two legs to a new low, two big legs to a new low on this down channel, and you're expecting a new high to be made. Now, it ends up working temporarily for a scalp, and then it does fail temporarily, and now it's just kind of sideways. So now it looks like a range. So we might not get the new high on this Big Daddy channel for a little while. Sometimes these can take a while to play out. So we'd probably have to start drawing some sort of a bigger range here, like this. Let's try to drag it over and see how far this range goes. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty reasonable. Like, it kind of go like these levels even are there, that close, that perfect tap. These levels up here, this would be like a failed breakout of this high. So I'd be looking at this as my new range now and just playing range rules. Which there is a trade here, but I was talking, so I didn't see this. This is not a really great signal bar. It's pretty neutral. It's a second entry long, but it's just a double bottom off this level. You could argue it's a triple test off there, but I think it's a little dicey. But anyway, the signal bar doesn't qualify, so you can't take it anyway. And now we just kind of got to wait. We can draw a short-term trend line up. Close outside, new high. So that short-term trend line has played out. And we're still kind of in this little range, so we got to be patient here. Is there a down sloping channel? Yes, possibly. It's possible. I see what you're saying. I tried to draw this before. Do we have something like this? Is this what you mean? Like something like this? You could kind of draw it. You could draw this as a possibility, right? You can't, I wouldn't guarantee it or anything, but you can draw that as a possibility. I would be respecting the lows though here, because you see how we bounced there and we didn't go lower. So if we bounce again and then we start breaking through the top, it's probably not a very valid channel. So we can draw it as a possibility, but we don't know for sure yet which one of these is going to win over. I see what you're saying. But we gotta watch what happens at these lows. Now, if it just breaks through this low right here, then yeah, it probably is. Especially if it breaks down and keeps going and doesn't give us a failed breakout. So we just gotta be patient here. Everybody that's here, please give this stream a like. We're trying to get up to 40 likes, and we have 9. This is abysmal. Abysmal like ratio here. We got like 19 people watching and 9 likes. What gives, fam? What gives, fam? Let's get some more likes going. Let's get some more subscribes if you're not subscribed already. We're going to watch this play out. If you want to learn more about what I do, go check the link tree. It looks like this. It's in the chat. It's in the description. You can go here. You can watch all of our stuff. There's a free Discord, other channels, a bunch of free stuff. There's a free course on YouTube. You can go here to learn about becoming a price action trader and learning my full setup. It's all in here. Everything is spelled out here. We got the new toolkit coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. I already wrote about it right here, coming soon. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to give a sneak peek to this to all the members tomorrow on the Zoom call. You can actually already see it on my screen to some extent, but anyway, everything's in here. Price action course, the recorded calls, it's all there. Community tab. I post all the chart updates throughout the session. This is just from today, for example. You can see all this stuff in here. You can see the charts, the trades. Everything is in here. I think even here you can see where I took this trade and I had my runner, but my runner got stopped. So you can see that in there. And also we have a premium Discord that you get added to once you join the school community, and we have the same charts in there and we talk through it all day. All right, let me see what we got here. Project Panic. So you said, so the swing that hit the bottom of this range after the green second entry long. Is that a triple test? First hit way back. This one, the swing that hit the bottom of the range after the green second entry long. Oh, this one. Sort of. It's sort of a triple test. Like, you tested it here, here, and here, and there. So it's sort of a triple test. I think that, like, it's one of those ones, though, where it's like, if you start... One thing you want to avoid in trading triple tests is just finding any possibility of a triple test, right? So, here, let me draw this out. I'm just going to draw it down. I'm going to draw it in this dead space down here. All right. So, let's say, and I'm going to test to make sure this works on the stream because I haven't tested this tool yet. But let's say you have some candles, right? You have a candle here, candle here. Maybe you got a candle here, something like this. And then you got all this price action that happens, all this stuff going on, all this stuff. And then finally you come back and you get some kind of candle right here, right? Price action comes all the way in. And so then you go, okay, we got some kind of triple test here. The problem is, it's kind of a stretch, right? Like, especially depending on what was happening before that. If the price action was like this, and it just tested this level quickly and went up, and then it came back to it, is that a triple test? Yeah, technically that's a triple test. Is that the best triple test I've ever seen? Not really, because it's happening so far away. Especially if the distance between these zones, let's say this is like, I don't know, 3 hours, right? And you're trading a small time frame. Or even if this is just like 2 hours. It's kind of a long time in between those touches. So I think you have to be aware of that possibility. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. Like, I think you need to be careful with stuff like that. And so in this case, these touches are all right next to each other in like a couple of minutes. And then you have this big gap in between of over an hour. And then you get this test. Now, when this test happens, it makes it way more valid, right? Because now you have a test here, 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 and here. So if this was a good signal bar, it would have been a little bit better to take this as a triple test, I think. That's how I would play that. If this was a good signal bar, then this would have been an actual setup. Because it would have also been a first entry, second entry long, and a triple test. But it wasn't a good signal bar. This is one of those ones that was 8 ticks. And so it closed within 3 ticks of its high, but it's not technically the upper 1/3. This closed 1 tick higher. I'd say that probably is reasonable to take. Hopefully that made sense. All right. Now, we make a higher low. We come up. I'm thinking this channel is not really in play. You see this? Like, we're just completely... I mean, I can widen it to that close, but this is probably just going to shoot through. Unless we get like a big bearish rejection and it dumps here, then I'm not going to really think of this as in play. So let's see what happens. Because it could be very, very possibly like very slightly wider. Like, we could draw it off of like the opening of this candle, and then it touches that level, and then here. We could draw it like that as a last possibility. And then off of there. And then that still does fit generally, but this would need to get very bearish very quickly for this to really be intact. Because I'm not going to stretch this wider. If it misses this swing here and this swing, it's not going to be a down channel for me. And that's why I was resisting it a little bit, because it was looking a little bit sketch. I'm thinking that the range is more likely here, especially with such a big bullish bias. It's pretty likely that the close outside turns into a range for a little while and then we go higher. I actually talked about that earlier in the stream, as like that can happen after close outside of a channel. Oh wait, no, sorry. I didn't talk about that on the stream. I talked about that in the voice memo I sent in the premium Discord earlier. Sorry, it wasn't on the stream. It was in there, in that voice memo that I sent. Okay, so there you go. I don't think that channel's intact. I think we're gonna play this as a range. So we're gonna play this as a range here, and we'll see. It's another day where there's not a lot of bars. If we zoom out, same thing. 193 bars right now. It's a little bit more than yesterday, I think, around this time, but still pretty low volume day. Hey, I thought we'd have a quick discussion on something. Just a quick discussion on something. Oh, my bad, Owen. I didn't even see your message till just now. You're short from... Sheesh. So you were short from... Where's up here somewhere? Oh, geez. Why did... Can I ask you... no offense, but can I ask you... Why do you have such a big target, Owen? Like, what is your strategy that you're trading? Because to me, that seems really, like, weird to do. No offense. No offense at all. But, like, I don't understand the trade. You were short from 64.55, which I don't even know where your entry would be. When did you enter that? And where? What time did you enter? And also, why is that your target? Like, that's all the way down here? You're trying to target this swing low all the way down here? I don't understand that. That seems really like a wonky setup. Dude, that... I don't know, man. I don't know if I would do that again. AI is not... If ChatGPT could be a successful trader, don't you think that... like everybody would be a trader by now and we wouldn't even have doctors anymore? You know what I mean? 8:09 a.m. All right, it's an eval, but that still seems dangerous. I don't know why you want to play that. Why not just trade a real strategy that works? So 8:09. So you must have entered on like this wick or something, or on this candle somewhere on a limit order. I just, like, to me, I don't know why you wouldn't have moved your stop up or something. Just get some trade there. Zero risk. How is there zero risk? I don't see what you mean. How is there zero risk? You're in the negative right now, aren't you? Aren't you in the negative? Because if you entered 64.55, you're in the red right now. So how is that? How is it zero risk? Unless you mean that you moved your stop and got stopped out at break even. I'm not sure. Oh, got it. Yeah, I still wouldn't. If you don't have the time to dedicate yourself to the chart, just don't trade. That's my opinion. Oh, you were okay. That still seems... So, did you are you still in the trade? Yeah, your emotions aren't free. Dude, honestly, that's one of the best statements I've heard in a while. That is exactly right. Even if you're on a demo account, you can still become tilted because you can still feel bad about yourself, like all that, right? Like if I start taking a bunch of wonky trades, even on a demo account, I can tilt and then it can affect my trading. So like, yeah, none of it's free. None of it is free. Your time is not free. Your mental bandwidth is not free. Your emotions are not free. None of it is free. You can trade without losing money. That there is that aspect, but none of it is free. By the way, everybody let me know, is my microphone clipping at all or has it sounded fine? I adjusted some settings and I think that my gain might be up a little bit too loud. I think it's fine. OBS is reading fine, but anyway. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we're here for, to help, you know. I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well... Okay, sweet. Appreciate it. I just feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well just do that on a demo at least. Because, I mean, even that free eval, I mean, you could have used that to turn it into a funded account, you know, versus taking a YOLO trade on it. I don't know. Hey, you know what? You do you. You do you. You do you. You do you. All right, so this line, by the way, is perfectly at yesterday's close. That's this level right here. Sweet. Thanks, everybody, for confirming. Mark, good to see you. Matt, how's life? How's life, Matt? How's life in How's life in Portland? How is life in Portland? I was there the other day. I had to stop. I had a family function. Family function the other day. All right, let's see. So we're at 11 likes. Can we get some more likes, fam? What is going on here? Hit the likes on the stream. We're trying to get to 40. I don't even think we're going to get close today. I don't know where everybody is. I have not seen Darth Vader playing bagpipes on the unicycle, but I have seen some stuff exactly like that in Portland, and it probably is there. Someone has probably seen that in Portland. I might not be the one, but somebody has probably seen that. How do I get it to zoom out? I have a tool that I recently am working on that's not available yet to the public, but it'll be available to anybody soon who is a member of my school community. It's part of what this toolbar is at the top that shows you these ATR values and my take profit target value here. And basically, it allows me to zoom with my mouse wheel like this. It also allows me to right click and do this. So you can kind of see that. It also, and then, you know, what you can do is you can also click this scale here. So you can zoom out and then just scale it like that. Like, pretty easy to do. I think on NinjaTrader you can also just click and drag down here at the lows. So there's a bunch of ways to do that. But I have some features built into my tool that make it easier for panning on the chart and scrolling and all that. That's what all these little numbers are too. They're part of my toolbar. Those numbers, by the way, those are just the size of the candlestick. Like if I right click this, you see how it says bar size in ticks 8? This candlestick was 8 ticks from the low to the high or high to the low. Like if I measure here, you can see it's 2 points because that's 8 ticks. And then it's green if it's if it closed in its upper 1/3, it's yellow if it closed in the middle 1/3, or red if it closed in the lower 1/3. It's just a way for me to track if it's a good signal bar or not when I'm taking trades. That's what it's for. Yeah, Sean, the NinjaTrader yeah, it'll be ready soon. Hopefully sometime in the next couple of weeks. There's a couple of things I got to deal with, and I'm going to be on vacation next week, so that'll put things a little bit on hold, but it should be ready in September if all goes to plan, which I believe it will. It's hard for me to yeah, it's hard. I don't want to like guarantee anything because you know how it goes with development and stuff like that. I'm at the whim of a little bit of like developer work, and then also NinjaTrader itself, because I'm like becoming a NinjaTrader. Like I have to become like a partner so that I can like use all the features for making it available to people and protecting the code and all this other stuff. It's like a whole thing. So I've been going through this whole like process to certify the business and do all these things. And it should be certify the business with NinjaTrader and go through all this stuff. It's a whole thing, like background checks and everything. But it'll be ready soon. I already made it through all that stuff. I just have to wait to talk with their team and then work with my developer and everything. So it'll be ready soon though, and that's why it says it right on the school page as coming soon. So right here, it says Freedom Algo NinjaTrader Toolkit and Indicators coming soon. This will be just included with everyone's membership once it's ready. So I'll change this from coming soon once it's ready. And I'll do a full video that shows how it all works, because the second half of the project isn't actually done yet. But it gives us better drawing tools, this ATR functionality, take profit calculation. Right now, my take profit calculation is based on the 7-period ATR. So you can see it's below a 4, which tells me that the volume is really low right now. I don't like to scalp anything less than a 4-tick target. But when it starts getting below a 4 on my take profit target, 4 ticks, that's dangerous times. And that's when you start to have to go, okay, maybe I stay out of trades here. I'm not in the game of trying to scalp 3 ticks or something. I'm just not doing it. Yeah, for sure, Sean. I agree. And it's actually been pretty quick. I started this project like not very long ago. So it's actually going way faster than I expected. But it will be an all-in-one solution. So it'll be like an all-in-one. You won't need anything else. When you have NinjaTrader to trade the exact strategy I do, it's going to be the only thing I'm using right now. So on my chart, here, let me see if I can show you. Give me 1 second to hide my chart for a minute. If you look here, okay. Oh wait, whoops. I need to protect what is in here for a minute, so bear with me here. I'm just trying to protect a little bit of details here. Okay. I'm not going to show all of it because it's not ready, but I'll just show you this. You can see this is my only indicator on my chart. It just says Freedom Toolbar. That's just a temporary name right now. But that's the only thing on that's the only indicator on my chart. So it has everything in it. And you can see here, these are just 2 of the settings. If you want to turn off the right-click panning and scroll wheel zoom. Now, I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but if you want to turn them off, you can. And that would make it so that the scroll wheel doesn't zoom in and out, and it would make it so that you can't do the right-click panning, which means that you have to hold control and click to do it, which is annoying. But you can see that. So it puts the 21, this white is the 21 EMA. It's built into that toolbar. Everything's built in. This tick counter is built in. The tick counter with the bit in the ask, like the ATR functions, all 3 of these ATR values, the take profit, which right now I have my take profit using the 7-period ATR, but you can change it to use the 21 period or the 14. Here, actually, you know what? I'll change it real quick and show you. Let's go and I'll change my take profit target to use the... I'm not going to show it, but I'll just do it real quick. I'll change my take profit to use the 21 period ATR. Alright. And then I'll show it. So you can see there now my take profit target is 4.19. It's using the 21 period ATR to calculate what my take profit should be. Hey, good. Take care, Owen. Alright. Alright, so you can kind of see that there. Pretty decent, pretty decent. It's cool the way it works. The reason I have the other values for calculating the TP is it's a preference thing. Like, for example, if you're trading and all of a sudden you start getting huge bars, then there's obviously a spike in volatility, and you might want to be aware of that as you trade. So it's kind of like you know, oh boy, full port long. Yeah. Who would long right here? That is ridiculous. That would be longing a breakout area, and most breakouts fail. I mean, look at this. You're right at resistance. Why would you ever long that? Also, full porting is... I didn't even know what that meant till somebody told me on TikTok. I just think it's, like, the worst thing to do. Or one of the worst things to do. You like the labels along the top instead of the chart. Yeah, like up here. I just think it's much easier. By the way, this blue line right here, this is just the highs from the overnight. That's all that line is. I forgot to mention that earlier. It's just, I'm just tracking the overnight high. We still haven't tested this level right there. But we're in this range. We look like we're going to fail here. We got, actually, if you look at this, this is a new low. So this is like a first entry. This is almost like a second entry. It's almost like a triple test of this level. We could actually fail right here and completely dump down. Nah, I know you were joking. I know you were joking. I appreciate it, man. It's good. It's good. I appreciate that. It's funny. Yes, the MES is different than the ES. So the MES is the micro contract. This is the ES right here. You can see ES, 2,000 tick chart. You know what? If you want, here, let me show you real quick. I'll make an MES chart. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll make an MES chart. It's going to look weird because I'm just going to duplicate my chart and change it to MES. I'm just going to show you guys what the MES looks like. I'll keep it on 2,000 tick. Okay. This is the MES. I don't think it's going to give me my drawings because it's a different chart. This is the MES right here now. You can see MES, and then I can cycle back to ES to show you the difference here. So, all right. So that's MES. This is ES. Let me zoom out, and you'll see that they're much different. So if you measure just the number of bars on the 2,000 tick chart, right now we have 200 bars. If you measure that on the MES chart, whoops, there it is. There's 131 on the 2,000 tick. So you really need to trade a different value for it to be the same. Like maybe let's try 1,500 tick. Let's see what we get at 1,500. 1,500, 175 bars. Let's try 1,400. This is now a 1,400 tick chart. And 188, that's about what it is. So you need to change the amount of tick value that you're trading for it to line up. You're not going to get it perfect, but you can see it is different. When you change it to look like that, if I zoom out, you'll see that that looks pretty similar to the ES. So if you look at the ES, that's the ES. If you look at the MES, it's pretty much the same chart now. All right, I'm going to close out of the MES. Okay. That was just the MES, just to show. One thing I'll tell you about the MES is that you can... This is what I always tell people that I would do. If I were an MES trader, what I would do is I would actually make a 2,000 tick ES chart, and I would plot the MES on it as an invisible instrument, and then I would execute my MES trades on the 2,000 tick ES chart based on the 2,000 tick ES price action. That's what video on that in the course, in my paid course in the paid school community. Again, it's all in here. So I have a whole video about that in the classroom. But you can Google it. You can find it for free on YouTube or whatever, how to do it. It's just I had to make it part of the course because it was something that we figured out on a actual call one time, on one of those recorded Zoom calls. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's get some more likes going. If you're here, please give the stream a like. Give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 40 likes. Trying to get to 5,600 subscribers. We are at the highs now. So we broke through the high here. We broke through the overnight high, and now we're overnight high close. This is the overnight high level right here, this blue line, and we just tapped it. So we can remove that now because we just perfectly tapped it. So let's see what we get. And yes, that is a new extreme on the Big Daddy channel. New extreme has been made. So now we find out if this becomes the range high or if we turn into some sort of a separate move. Let's see. Let's see. The ATR is pretty low. Look at the size of these candles. There's a lot of small candles in here. 5 tick bars. You don't see 5 tick bars very often. This is August, baby. Alright, let me change the music real quick. Get one of my other tracks going. Let's go... I haven't listened to this one in a long time. Long time. This track is kind of cool because in this one, let me turn the quality up for a second. In this one, if it wants to work, you can see this in the background. If you look, there's a huge fish in the background. So anyone that wants to check this out, just look up my name and you can go watch this. This video, this is at a creek that all the salmon come upstream on this creek every year. And they breed, and then there's huge salmon in this really shallow water, and you can see them swimming around throughout this video. So you saw one earlier in the video, but you'll see them throughout this one. So check it out. It's actually really cool. One of my favorite videos. I'm gonna record some more videos there, I think, just because it's that cool. No Name out here. No Name is not humble guy. This is ES, the E-mini S&P 500 futures. This is futures trading. I'm pretty sure that it even says that in the title of the video, if I remember correctly. It says live futures trading. So that tells you everything you need to know. It's futures, the futures market. This is the ES on a 2,000 tick chart. So the S&P 500 futures. Everybody here, welcome, welcome. Please give the stream a like. We are trying to get up to 40 likes today, and we have abysmally only hit 16. What is going on? Who's trolling? Who's trolling? I need to get some water. I will be back in a second. I am back. Matt bringing the zingers. Matt always bringing the heat. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Matt. Matt, you get the GOAT award today. Matt's got the GOAT of the chat. Yeah, humble guy. You know what? There's a lot of weird stuff out there when you're first learning trading. My opinion is that futures is the best way to trade if you want to be a day trader. I am not a fan of Forex for a lot of different reasons. But, you know, like everything else, your mileage may vary. All right, I'm going to draw a real tight channel here because Bay is cruising. So let Bay cruise. All right, no name. Good question. You asked, how do I deal with revenge trading and avoid essentially martingaling? Well, first of all, I never martingale. It's just not a thing that I do. And I will say this. Early in my career, I tried to trade with bots and I tried to program bots. And I even programmed DCA bots that were like using like a martingale strategy. And I tested that over time, where I would accumulate at different levels and try to average the position and then exit for a small gain over time and all that. And really all that it did was completely blow up accounts. So I just think that it's not worth it at all. So the way that I trade is based on a all-in, scale-out strategy on my take profit, but an all-in, all-out strategy on my stop loss. So when I take a trade, like for example, this trade right here, right? Let me draw it out for you real quick. When I take this trade right here, where's the risk reward tool? Honestly, the risk reward tool is so abysmal that I'm not even going to use it. I'm just going to draw it. Let's just draw it. So if I enter this trade, I enter it one tick above the bar. That's my entry. My stop loss is one tick below right here. So if the price comes down, it will stop me out. Now my first take profit. So my first take profit is going to be pretty like right here, basically. And then I'm going to have another take profit, like maybe like up here somewhere. And I might even move it up here. And what I'm going to do is once I get to this level, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. I actually took this trade. And so I have a screenshot of it. I ended up getting hit on my stop loss right there. And that's fine because I scalped out 80% of my position, right? So I'm going to scalp out 80%. Are these drawings looking okay on your guys' side? I know they're a little janky, but I'm going to scalp 80% right there. So 80%, I've already taken profit. So I don't care if I get stopped out on the last 20% of the position. I really don't care about it because if it runs higher, I'm going to get a really nice trade. Now, I have a very harsh rule. I will not ever move my stop loss below where it goes or above where it goes. My stop loss always goes one tick below the signal bar if I'm going long or one tick above the signal bar if I'm going short. And so there's no room for error there. There's no messing with that. There's no compromising that. It's essential to my strategy. So that's how I do it. Same thing over here. I'll show you on the short side. If I were going to take this trade, which I did take this trade earlier, my stop loss goes up here, one tick above the bar. My entry is one tick below the bar. So I get entered on this next candle. And then, you know, my first take profit, I forget where exactly it was, but it's like somewhere around here. So I get into the trade. My stop loss is hanging out up here. Once this gets hit, then it moves my stop loss to break even. And then my stop loss is right here, which it ends up getting stopped out on this candle right there. So no big deal. No runner. That's how I do it. There is no room for compromise because I'm a scalper, right? It's very high probability setups, and there is no room for compromising. There just isn't. So the way that I handle it is by just never compromising. I don't know how else to explain it besides that. Now I will say this. Am I tempted? Yeah, I'm human. I'm of course human. Am I tempted to revenge trade if I take a loss and enter? Right? Like if you're in this trade, let's say, and this is also why I scalp a small target. By scalp, because here's the thing. Let's say I entered this trade. Let's just say, let's say I entered this trade right here. And I tried to go for like a profit way up here with my stop loss here. Well, I'd be big mad if it came and stopped me out right here and then it went all the way up. You know, I'd be big mad. And I think anybody would. And that's why, for me, it's part of my strategy to scalp a small profit and then try to leave a runner. Now, can you trade where you just go for a bigger target and you don't mess with runners? Yeah, but you're going to have a little bit lower probability. But you have to stay on track with your trading. You have to trade on a demo account for a long time and see what it does, see what your performance is, and have confidence in your strategy so that you know that you shouldn't deter from it. The reason that I think most people revenge trade and martingale and do all this weird stuff is because I think they trade with cash or like funded accounts or whatever too early, and the stakes are too high. When you're trading on a demo account, the stakes aren't too high. So you can stay disciplined and you can actually follow the rules the way you're supposed to and build the confidence that you need so that you don't break the rules when you do start trading with cash and everything. So that's the way I look at it. By the way, I am going to draw a wider channel here as a possibility just to see if it fits. It doesn't. It doesn't. Okay. So this is a close outside. Now we did break out the top of this, and this does look like a possible failure. Let's actually measure. If you look, that is exactly the overnight high, the level that this closed at right here. So that might actually become our range high. So I am going to keep that blue line on there. It might become our range high. All right. Project Panic. You think the brokers are behind the idea of algo trading? You know, it's a possibility. I've also heard that a lot of brokers are actually allowed to trade Forex, which I think is weird. If that's true, I don't know enough about it to know if it is, but if that's true, that's weird. Because how could a broker be allowed to trade when people are using the broker? Like, wouldn't they know where everybody's stop losses are? Like, I don't know, man. That just seems funky. Also, Forex is weird. You have to use all these offshore brokers and all this weird stuff to get the right leverage. Like, it's just not what's up. Dario. It's a cool name, Dario. Dario or Dario? You go by Dario or Dario? I'm from New Jersey, so I always pronounce A's as a. Like, right? So I say Mario. My kids make fun of me all the time. They all say Mario. I say Mario. And so when I see your name, I say Dario. Let me know. Let me know. How do you pronounce it? I do trade in crypto. I do. I actually sold a bunch of Ethereum the other day. Didn't I talk about this somewhere? Swing trading. Yeah, right here. I actually said this in my Discord. If you look right here, said this right in my Discord. I just sold a bunch of Ethereum at the all-time high. It was a 14x return. So I trade, and it was a 14x return because my average price on my Ethereum was like $300 something. And I sold a bunch at the all-time high. So my strategy on crypto is the same as my strategy here. I just traded on a longer time frame. So the strategy that I show here on the 2000 tick chart is what I use on crypto. I just use daily charts and weekly charts to do the same thing that I'm doing here. Really, it's no different. I would say the only difference on crypto is that I'm not doing a scalp 80% leave a runner strategy because I'm trading it with a larger time frame. So like, for example, if I were to trade this chart, there are other ways to trade this without scalping your whole position, right? Like you can move your stop loss, you can do all these things. You can also enter a trade and leave your stop loss like further down or whatever and just leave it there and allow for it to move further. So it's a little bit different. So when I trade crypto, I'm trading with a much larger target. And I'm like, it's more of like a longer term investment accumulation. So I will say this, the one difference on like longer term trading that I do is that I don't go all in at once and all out at once a lot of the time. I do have like where I'll enter multiple positions and add to my trades. So for example, like let's say I'm trading Ethereum, and you know, the way that I trade it is a little different. Like, let's say like the Ethereum chart, you know, starts to look like this, right? I'm probably have bought some down here. I probably bought some here. I probably bought some like maybe there, maybe there. So I average my position. But the thing is, the way that I take my entries is still based on the same principles that I teach. I just am not exiting the whole thing. I'm just staying in the trade for longer. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have a longer term analysis that's on where my actual target is for the trade, right? But I'm not trying to time the market perfectly to catch one trade and let it, you know, it's a little different. I don't do all in, all out on crypto a lot, or like longer term stuff. I'll scale in a little bit and do it that way, but I still use the same principles of how I enter and everything. It's just a different take profit management that I'm using for that. No name. This one is it's an age-old discussion, right? It's an age-old discussion. Win rate versus risk reward is an age-old discussion. And I don't think that it's even the right discussion. I think that the best way to look at it is, do you have a strategy that makes money over time? Is it based on high win rate, or is it based on lower win rate with higher risk reward? What works for your personality? All that sort of stuff is a factor, right? Like, and here's the thing. Most of the people that talk about risk reward are actually lying about what their risk reward actually is, right? I've seen this so many times. How many times have you seen a video where someone's like, okay, this is my strategy. I'm going to trade it with a 1 to 3 risk reward, right? And that's what they say. And then they take a trade with a 1 to 3 risk reward. I'm going to draw it on here. So they use this tool, right? Let's say they're going long. Well, let's change this to a 3. I don't know why it moved my lines, but so they say, all right, I'm going to trade with a 1 to 3 risk reward. I'm going to enter right here, and I'm going to let it go all the way up there, right? And that's what they say they're going to do. Their stop loss is down here. Let's say here. Let's actually change this. Let's make it tighter. So it's like that. That's a 1 to 3 right there. So if they entered right here at this yellow line, they're going for 3. How many times have you seen a video where someone says that that's their risk reward, and then they show a trade and they take profit before it hits the level, or they move their stop to break even at some point in there, or whatever? As soon as you start doing all that stuff, your risk reward is not 1 to 3 anymore. It's something else, right? If you take profit early, your risk reward's different. If you move your stop to break even, your risk reward is different. Your win rate is different. If you consider it a win or not is different. A break even is different than a loss versus a win. If you move it to break even plus 1 tick, that's not really a win. You know, like there's a lot of weird stuff that happens with the way that people trade that affects what the actual risk reward is and the way that they're doing it and what their win rate is and all that. So I will say this. I think that win rate and risk reward are actually a lot more complicated than people try to make it seem. And in your actual strategy, it will affect things. So you need to be aware of that stuff. Like, you should be analyzing the way that you manage your trades. Like, if you do move your stop to break even and leave a runner, does that change? You know? So be aware of that stuff. I personally, as a day trader, I scalp with a high win rate with a low risk reward. So if I take a loss, it's going to be bigger than my win a lot of the times. But I'm trading with such a high win rate that it doesn't matter. That's the way I like to trade. That's not for everybody, but that's the way I like to trade. That's what I think works best in a highly leveraged market like the ES. Now, if I'm trading crypto, I'm just trading cash accumulation the same way I trade with big stocks, right? So, I manually enter the orders. I enter limit orders manually to get filled at my limit order, and that's how I do it. I wait for areas that I want to trade and take trades, and I do it that way. And I kind of accumulate over time, like any sort of the way that I'm trading on longer term crypto stuff is sort of like a hybrid between trading and investing, right? As an investor, you want to accumulate a position over time to average your position in. I do the same thing, but I still enter it like a trader. I enter each position that I'm taking like a trade with a specific criteria. I don't just randomly set limit orders at areas. It's not like that. So hopefully that all makes sense. All right, everybody, if you're here, please give the stream a like. We've got only 21. We're trying to get to 40. There's a lot of you in here. So everybody hit that like button. Let's get more likes on the stream. Let's get it out to more people. I'm not talking about the heart in the chat. I'm talking about actual likes of the video so we can get it out to more people. The more likes we get, the more the algorithm picks it up and shows it to more people. We need 12 more subscribers to get to 5,600. So that is our target, fam. Hassan, I don't really think that is a question that makes... Look, there's no I don't think that question actually means anything because everybody's position size is going to be different where they start, right? So for example, one person might have $500 to invest in their portfolio. One person might have $500,000. One person might have $30. It's really different based on the person. So I don't think that really is what you need to focus on. How much money someone else has when they start trading for crypto. I just don't think that's even something to worry about necessarily. I think the main thing that we're worried about is when you're doing any sort of trading or investing, I always say that, you shouldn't really be putting in more than you're willing to lose if it's an actual trade. With an investment, it's a little different, but with trading, it's only what you're willing to lose because you don't want to be emotionally tied to the outcome of it. Or at least you want to reduce the emotional baggage that's associated with it as much as you can. That's the way I look at it. Trader Geo, well, thanks for the support. Thanks for the support. No name, is it going up or down? Well, remember what I said. We might be getting a failed breakout. This could be the new range high. I'm not bullish right now, but this little channel here, overall, there's a bullish bias on the day. We just made a new high. This channel right here, let me shrink it, doesn't have a new high yet. So we might get a new high there, but this was really just a correction channel. So we might not, because we had this up channel. We got a correction channel to a new high. So sometimes those don't give us a new high after. We don't get another new high here a lot of the time, because we might have a failed breakout. This blue line might become the range high, and we could reverse. So we got to be patient here. We made it to the overnight highs. We made it above where we closed yesterday. But remember, overall, we'll see. We'll see. How low did we actually get? Did we make it? Yeah. All right, never mind. Hassan, I can't give you advice like that, man. I really can't. It all depends on your goals, your time investment, everything. If you're trying to become a day trader, if you're trying to become a long-term trader, there's so many variables, I literally can't answer that. I just can't. Too many variables based on your goals, where you're at in your life, what you have going on, your job, if you have a job, all these things. There's so much loaded in that question that there's just no way for me to answer it properly. Sorry, I was just checking something real quick. I wonder if our friend who was asking about ETH a bunch of times, I wonder how they ended up doing. Because I actually sold all of my, I sold a bunch of ETH for that huge profit after everything played out the way that we talked about. So if anybody wants to ask about this, all right, Hassan, I don't know, man. Like that, I can't really answer that for you though. Like that's really up to you. Like I can't answer that for you. Yeah, that's up to you if you're trying to be a swing trader, like an investor, a day trader. It's really up to you. I mean, there's a lot of loaded in that question. So last week we had a few streams where I pulled up the crypto charts and we looked at it, and everything played out exactly as we thought, which is really cool. I wonder if you're here, the person I was talking to about crypto last week on ETH, if you're here, let me know in the chat, because I'm just curious how things turned out for you and what you ended up doing. I ended up taking profit after the second entry long played out to an all-time high, and I exited at an all-time high for literally a 14x return, which was awesome. So I hope that you took profit. Some people get too greedy when the all-time highs are around. I think you got to be careful. Hey, if you're here, give the stream a like. We got 31. We only need 9 more to get to 40. Let's get it today, everybody. Let's get it. We had a short stream yesterday because the price action was so slow. It's honestly super slow today, but I don't want to leave everybody hanging. I don't want to leave you hanging. So we're going to have a good stream today. I will say this. On Thursday this week, stream will be short because I have to run some errands in the morning before my trip. Friday, I should be able to have a normal long stream. Tomorrow's stream will be a good one too, and we have the Zoom call tomorrow. So anybody here that wants to join the Zoom call tomorrow, I'm going to go over the new tools that I'm building in depth with everybody to show everybody what's going on and how they work. But if you want to join, check out the link in the description and here where it says become a price action trader. You can go to the school community. You can join for $99 a month. If you join before tomorrow morning, you can come over to the calendar and you can join tomorrow's Zoom call, which will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So everybody come check it out. We always have a lot of fun. We do master classes. They all get recorded and whatnot, become part of the resources. All right, let's see. Yeah, you're welcome, Hassan. I don't know what got deleted there, but you know, you're welcome. You're welcome. I try to do my best, but I can't. You know, there's a lot. Well, no name, that is incredible. That is incredible. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you. That's probably better than any trade I've ever had in crypto. I've had some good ones, but nothing like that. That's amazing. That is absolutely out of control amazing. I mean, what is that? Is that like a 1000x return? What even is that? Let's see. I'm going to calculate it. Is it 109x return? Is that what that is? I think it's 109x return. That's incredible. That's incredible. Shout out to you. Yeah, I mean, for sure. For sure. Well, that's the thing that always happens, right? I've had some trades like that because I've been trading crypto since 2017. So I had some crazy ones in there. I had a really good return on, what was it, Cardano? I've had some other ones too where I've had some pretty sweet returns, but I've never had a 100x return on any of them. But that's also because I never messed with the super low cap ones. I always did it as like a more careful one. Diamondback, so every once in a while, if we have a good setup, I'll take a trade live on YouTube. if we have a good setup. We haven't really had very many good ones lately, or sometimes on the Zoom calls that we do in school, which are once a week, sometimes I'll take a live setup if we have a good setup. But that's not the focus. The way that I do it is like this. Throughout the trading session, here I'll show you. Throughout the trading session, what I do is I post in the premium Discord and in here actual chart updates throughout the session. So like this was pre-market, you know, you can see here pre-market, then we got into the open, and then you can kind of see, where is it? Whoops. This was like during the session. And you can see like once in a while, there's some setups in here. Like this was a trade that I was in. I mark off the trades. So basically the idea is that what I focus on is teaching people how to read the price action with my course. And then these YouTube streams, we go over all the trades from the morning session and what the price action did and why, so that everyone understands from the screenshots earlier in my paid community what was going on. And we're having discussion throughout the trading session too. And then that's how I do it. And then I do have a bunch of like spots where I've recorded trades and put them in the course just to show how to execute. But the whole idea here is to teach people how to spot the setups on their own. This isn't about like copy trading or signals or like, you know, flexing live trades. This is about having everybody learn how to do this and spot it all on their own. So that's how I structure it. During these live streams, the main focus is talking about the price action, answering questions, going over all the trade setups, and then occasionally taking a setup. But by the time I go live each day, I'm already done trading pretty much. So I only am going to take a setup if it's really solid. But thanks for asking. So at this point, I'm going to delete that blue line, and I'm actually going to make this the range high. To me, that looks like the range high now. And you can see it holding pretty decent right there. I wouldn't necessarily think that you should just short this right away. That is because it's not a new high made yet. It's only like it is a second entry short from this low, but I don't think that you want to short that. I think you need to be careful here. Yeah, so just to be clear there, Diamondback, like... Yeah, just to be clear, like, for people who join, like, the school community isn't about, like, live copy trading or anything like that. That's not what it's about. My risk reward, it varies on every single trade because I already went over where my stop loss goes earlier in the stream, and I drew it all out of how I trade. But I trade with a negative risk reward, or like a less than favorable one, and because I scalp 80% of my position for a small profit, move my stop loss to break even, and then leave a runner. So sometimes my risk reward is really good because my runner is huge. Sometimes my risk reward is negative because I only get scalped on the trade. Now the way I trade is like this. I'll just show you real quick. If I'm going to enter a trade, like let's say I was going to go short, my stop loss is going to go right there. Or sorry, my stop order to go short is going to go there. My stop loss is going to go one tick above the bar. So my entry's right there. My stop loss is up here. I'm going to scalp out like right there, a small profit. And then I'm going to leave a runner and maybe target like a lower area like down here. So that's the way that I trade. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm specific on that so you understand. It's not for everyone. And you have to have a high win rate for it to work. You can't do this with a lower win rate. So it's the way that I trade is based on having a high win rate on your scalps. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. We got 40 people here and 34 likes, but our goal is 40 likes. So we need 6 more likes. Everyone that's here, hit the like button on the stream. Let's get it out to more people. We're trying to have a goal celebration here. So if you get us to 40 likes, we will have a goal celebration. It's always fun. So everybody hit that and let's get it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. So, we kind of have a little short-term channel working here. We got to be aware of this channel. We got 35 likes. We only need 5 more. We need 11 more subscribers to hit our subscriber goal. Can we do it? We got 36 likes. We need 4 more to hit our goal. We are getting close, everybody. We're getting close. We need to have a goal celebration. It's always a good time. 3 more likes to go. We got 37. 3 more to go to hit our goal. Two more to go. We got 38. The countdown. 2 more likes to go to hit 40 and we get to have a goal celebration. If you're here, definitely smash it up. Smash the likes. Smash the likes. Smash the subscribe. Smash the likes. We got 39. We're about to... Oh, everybody knows. Everybody in the chat knows what's coming. If this is your first time here, just get ready. Oh, we lost a like. Who done it? We were at 39. I thought we were about to have a goal celebration, but... Someone took the like back. Who took the like back? Give it back. All right, let's see. 2 more. Oh, we're at 39. 1 more to go. 1 more to go. Goal! It's a goal, everybody. Thanks for getting us to the goal celebration. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We love goal celebrations here on the stream. Someone took one of the likes away, but we're still at 40. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody for getting us to 40 likes. That's the goal. That's the goal. Next goal is 11 more subscribers to get to 5,600. Stream goal. We'll set a secondary goal if we get to 60 likes. I'll do another goal celebration if we get to 60, but I'm not going to do it at 50 because that's excessive. We got to be reasonable in our goals, right? I don't even know how long I've been trading full time. I started trading in 2017. I had a different job when I started. Then I had a business, and then I kind of phased myself out of the business and eventually sold it. So I don't know. It's been several years. Several years. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but it's been several years. Boom, boom, boom. Is this your first time on the stream, Diamondback? I don't think I've seen your name before. Carpet Buyers Outlet SD Inc. Hilarious name. You must own a business. That's cool. Shout out to you. Sasquatch, thanks for the medal. Good to have Sasquatch in the chat. We love Sasquatch around here. Fun fact, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I know all about Sasquatch. Shout out to everybody here. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate all of you. We just had a goal celebration at 40 likes. Now we're going to have one if we get to 60 likes. So if you want to get us there, go ahead and smash the likes. Subscriber target is 5,600. If you want to learn more about what I do, it's all in the link tree that is pinned in the chat. It's in the description. Everything is there. Shout out to the new members who recently joined. I appreciate all of you. We're having a lot of fun lately. And the new members are going to get access pretty soon to the new tools that I'm building, which I'm super excited about. For sure, Diamondback, for sure. Well, I'm glad you found us. Glad you found us. If you want to check out any of the free resources, let me show you the free resources. We got a free Discord. It's in the link tree. Now, be careful when you join. There are fake Nick Bannock's out there that will DM you that pretend to be me. They are not me. I do not DM people unless they DM me first. And also, when you join the Discord, you'll get a message from my automatic bot that will warn you about this. So don't fall for scams. But there is a free trading Discord. I have a premium channel that everyone gets access to if they join the paid school community, which is there. There's an Instagram and TikTok link. What the heck? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What is going on? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Go down to videos, and you can find the price action course. It's right here. It's 4 hours long. It's free. It's actual free sections from my paid course that you can check out. It's not the whole paid course, but it's there. It says full course, but it's really not the full paid course. It just, you know, it's just for the purposes of letting you know it is a full course. It's just not the entirety of everything I offer. The full actual course is in the classroom section here of the paid community. So if you want to check that all out, it's all in the paid community and it's all there, and it's only $99 a month. Month-to-month membership, and there's a ton involved. I'm not going to go over everything. Just going to tell you, it rules. That's my unbiased opinion. Classic. All right. I'm over here cracking myself up. He's just being a full dad. Full dad jokes over here. Where's DOS when you need him? I haven't seen DOS lately. I think I seen him last week. We would know if he was here, I think, because we'd be getting dad jokes out the wazoo. First entry. What do we get here? What are we going to get? What are we going to get? We might get a triple test. For sure. If I could give you one piece of my opinion. I don't want to call it advice because I'm not an advisor, but I'll tell you, this is my opinion. You know, not financial advice, all the other things, all the disclaimers, all that. None of that. This is just my opinion. When learning how to trade, I think that the best move is to find a strategy that works for your style of what you're trying to do, right? So if you're looking to be a day trader or like a scalper, find a strategy that works for you, that you like. So find a strategy that you really enjoy, you really like. It lines up with your style. Hey, I want to be a scalper in and out of trades, blah, blah, blah. I have time to look at the charts and dedicate each morning and all this stuff. So if you find that you find that strategy that's going to work for your style, focus on one asset. So I trade the ES, the S&P 500 futures, the ES, on a 2,000 tick chart. One asset, one time frame. Look at one asset, one time frame for your day trading style. So you find the asset you want to trade. You have a reasonable time frame. You have a strategy for that time frame. You only look at that one chart. You specialize in that. You focus on a couple of key setups that you trade. Trade it on a demo account for a long period of time with those key setups until you've built the confidence and know that it works. Then you start to, use cash and all the other things at a small level. But don't bounce around. Don't get shiny object syndrome and start learning all these different strategies, watching a million YouTube videos. It's good to watch them in the beginning to see what other people do and see what looks like it's going to resonate with you. Not saying you should just be ignorant to what else is out there. I'm just saying that when you find the strategy that you like, that works for you, that you have confidence in, and you just start mastering that and cut out all the other noise. Because as soon as you start trying to add other things into your trading strategy, you're going to build some sort of Frankenstein that doesn't necessarily work as intended. And you're going to get shiny object syndrome, and you're going to, after a loss, you're going to change and all this stuff. You don't want to do that. You want to find something that works. Now, I always tell people, like with my strategy, you want to commit to this thing for like literally months, really years. And you want to just commit to it and not do anything else and just do it over a long period of time, and you will become really great at it. It just takes a long time. That's just the way it is. Anybody out there that's telling you they can teach you a strategy that you're going to learn in a month, and then you're going to be I almost cursed. and you're going to be a solid trader from there. Trying not to curse because I don't know what the rules are with and if on my stream will get flagged and all that. Anyway, if anybody that tries to say this stuff, you're going to end up in a position where you have a bad mentality going into it because you really believe, oh, I can do this in 30 days and be a profitable trader. Dude, do you think somebody could be a doctor in 30 days and be a successful doctor, or a surgeon, let's say? Would you want a surgeon who learned how to become a surgeon in 30 days? No. You would want somebody who had dedicated a lot of time and effort and put in many, many, many hours of studying. If you're going to trust them on you, right? Trading is like that. If you want to trust yourself as a trader, you need to have put in so much time and effort and energy to be confident. If you want to trust yourself as a trader, that is key. And so Hassan, you asked how much time to demo trade? It's going to be different for everybody. Some people will learn this faster than others, but it should be, you should have many, many hours on your demo account. Many days, probably many months. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's just true. And I feel the same way with like a lot of professions. Like, I wouldn't want someone who got their legal degree in like even like less than a year and like they've started practicing law. I'd want somebody who has a lot of experience. So I'd want like with like, that's why like with like as a surgeon, you have to go to college, go to medical school, do a residency, work for a while. There's so much stuff, man. It's wild. I got no... What are you asking me about moving averages? Your moving average number of days? I'm looking... I have a 21. 21 EMA is the only moving average I have on here. Is that what you're asking me? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. Is that what you're asking me? I have no idea what you're saying. So let me know. Mr. Wow. Mr. or Mrs. Wow. All right, any other questions real quick? Because I'll probably wrap up the stream here soon. So any other questions? If you got them, drop them. I'm going to wrap up the stream here soon. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I know, Matt. I was thinking there's got to be a dad joke in there somewhere. Matt, too late. We saw it. We saw it. All right, everybody. Any final questions? I could keep the stream going for a little bit if more questions come in, but otherwise I'll probably wrap up. We might get a triple test here, so let's let it play out and see what happens. Got him. Are we going to get the triple test? The triple test. Man, these bars are printed in slow motion, baby. 9:53. 9:57. That's almost 4 minutes apart. 3 minutes. Awesome. That is awesome. Okay. I typically take 1 to 4 trades a day. 1 to 4. Today, I took 4. I actually took every one of the trades marked today. Those are the only trades I even saw, and I took all 4 of them. So, there you go. If I take a trade today, or if I'm not looking to take another trade, but let's watch and see what happens here. Gene, the rules for a triple test. Dove, I'm not going to share my P&L numbers, but I can tell you that I did well. I scalp 80% for a small profit. Today was between 4 and 8 ticks for 80% of my contracts, and then I leave a runner. Okay? So today, I did not really get any runners. So if that helps, that's what it is. I got 4 scalps, no runners. You know? Oh, no, you're all good, man. You are all good. I think, look, why do you, hey, this question, this comes up a lot. Why do you trade NQ and not the ES? Let me know. All right, now, Gene, this is a triple test, but it's a bullish bar, so you can't take it. The rules here would be if we got a nice bearish bar as a triple test, then we could look to take it following the range rules. And the point is, we don't really have a consistent range low. You could maybe argue that this is our low right now. So that would be like our runner target if we were going to take a runner. If I were taking the trade, I'd probably just scalp the entire thing and not try to get a runner here. But you could do it either way, just because it's so choppy and sideways right now. But there's no bar there. So now we have to change our what we're going to do. So what I'd be looking at here is now we had a triple test. So maybe now we have to wait and see if we get another one that gives us a lower high. If it makes a higher high, I'd be a little bit worried. We still were looking for a new high on this channel, but remember I said we might not get it because that was the correction channel. We've rejected this level a few times, but unfortunately that's a bullish bar. You can't take a triple test there. So now you have to wait. But following the range rules, if we get a nice triple test here, that'd be good. Now because we just bounced off there, I would like it more if this bounces down here to confirm the sideways range, then comes up and gives us maybe a nice triple test. Something like that. But here's the thing, Dove. I think you might be mistaken here. The ES is the S&P 500, yes. But the NQ is not the US 100. The NQ is the 100 biggest tech stocks. So it's the technology sector. It's not the US 100. That's not what it is. So I think you might be mistaken on what you're actually trading. You're actually trading tech stocks. That's what you're trading. You're trading the top 100 tech stocks. So here, let's pull up a list of what companies are in there. So let's pull up the NASDAQ 100 list. Here, let me pull it up. Here. This is the list right here. Here's the list of companies in the NASDAQ 100. I'm not affiliated with this website. I don't know it. I just Googled and this is what came up. But here you go. This is what's in the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, I know that you're doing the E-mini NQ, but I'm just letting you know the NQ this is the companies that are in there. It's mostly tech companies. It's not. It's a tech sector. You see, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Meta, etc. And I can pull up a list of the. Here, let's pull up the S&P 500 list. Here's the S&P 500 list for comparison, right? The reason I'm pulling this up is because if you look, they're very different. Now, of course, there are some big companies in the S&P. You still see Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, right? Those are the same in the what the heck? Hold on. Sorry, this is all bugged out because of the ads. What the heck? Never mind. I was trying to get it to load. Sorry, there's a bunch of ads on this website. Sorry, guys. This website is really annoying. There's a bunch of ads on it. Good grief, dude. Can't even use this. I can't even close this. Good grief. All right, whatever. Point is, if you can see, the S&P 500's got other companies, though. It's got Berkshire. It's got JP Morgan. You know, there's Home Depot. It's got J&J. It's got all these different things. Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. You go back to the NQ, it's only tech companies. Right? Pretty much. More or less. Right? So the point is, yeah, I know. I don't know why. There's some of those that are in there. It's kind of funny. Maybe because of what sectors they kind of work in. But the point is, it's more volatile because it's all one sector and it's only 100 companies. And not all of them are, you know, going to be as, you know, it's not the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is more balanced. So I'm just curious what makes you want to trade that. It's more volatile. It has lower volume too. So the S&P 500 has more volume. So I think it's actually easier to read than the NQ. So let me know what you think. New to chat from Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you. Trinidad and Tobago has brought up some great soccer players over time, and I'm a big fan. Or football. I should say football. Yeah, Tim, that is pretty funny, isn't it? All right, so the triple test did succeed there. Unfortunately, there's no signal bar. The way that we would remember, we would have taken this only if we had a bearish signal bar, and we didn't have a bearish signal bar. So you have to be aware of that. But that does look like the range high confirmed. We're back down to this range that I had drawn earlier. It doesn't look like it's going to really come into play. So we can just move that out the way. We bounced here. We'll be aware of this brown level, which is yesterday's close. I would not be surprised to see us start going lower now, because everything is pretty much played out for the most part. We'll see. All right. Any final questions? I appreciate everybody for those questions. I stayed a little longer than I originally planned, but that's because good questions entered the chat. If good questions enter the chat, then I'm gonna hang out and talk about things. Oh yeah, for sure. No problem. Oh, okay, you trade based on the news. That makes sense. Oh, you're welcome, Sean. I appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. I'm going to head out for the day. As soon as this stream is over, I will schedule the one for tomorrow, and I'll see you all then. I appreciate everybody for making this a fun stream. Getting us to our stream goal of 40 likes was always good. We're 10 subscribers away from our target of 5,600. Cruising lately. Just cruising. Watch for the triple test here again. Watch for the triple test. We are playing range rules. Gene, is it possible to automate the previous day high and low? No, I don't think you need to. Just go like this. Look. Here's what you can do. Scroll over to yesterday. This is how you do it. Go to yesterday. This is all you have to do in the morning. In the morning, just go to yesterday. Now, it depends on if you want the high in the overnight, which is all the way over here, or the high of the session, regular hours, which would be right here. And then literally you could just open a horizontal line, and you could just plot it. Just plot it real quick. I mean, it'd take you 2 seconds each morning. You just go in, boom, boom. You can plot the low, which would be right there. And then you could even plot, you know, the low there if you want. Whatever, you can just plot them like that. And then what I would do is double click it and just change the color to maybe something that resonates for you. Like maybe you plot your highs as like a red color or something, and you plot your lows as like a green color or something. Whatever you want to do. However you want to do it. Or maybe, whatever color. Just pick some random color, lime. And now you have them plotted. And then when you just do that real fast. I mean, like, I don't think you need to automate that. It only takes a minute, you know? Like something like that. And then you have it. See? Something like that. That's how I would do it. I would just do it real quick. I actually do the same thing here for the overnight. The way that I do this overnight is like this now. When I come in, because I just found that it's actually, I just plot the overnight myself. I just draw a line like this. And then I just pretty quickly, I change the color to something that I want. I just change the style. Boom. Apply. And then I just extend it right. And that's how I get my yesterday close. I just plot it myself. It doesn't really take more than a second, you know. You just do that. So that's what I do. I don't think there's really any need to automate it. Here's the thing. I used to use a tool, I used to use this other toolbar and tool that would plot yesterday's close and all that for me. But the thing would bug out on me sometimes. So I just started doing it manually. You might as well. It takes 2 seconds. So, and I don't really care about the open price of the day anyway. I take note of where we opened, right? Like, so if like, for example, you just look at like where we opened for the day, which was like over here somewhere. I just take note of that. Like this blue line was around where the market kind of opened this morning, or at least around where we hung out. So that became a level that's just on my chart there, but I just draw it manually. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. And yeah, exactly. Project Panic. Just add it to your pre-flight checklist. I feel like I missed some comments here. Let me go back. Tim. The best video I recommend. My recent videos that I just launched. Check these out. So go to my YouTube channel. Go to videos. Definitely watch the 4-hour course, because it covers psychology and stuff, and it's really important. I'd say that's a really important one. The Ninja Trader tutorial is important. And then if you watch some of the, I'd say this one, this five-step one that I just launched a few days ago, this is a really solid video. It's only 6 minutes long. This will give you a pretty good strategy. And then this one, this 5-minute video is good. There's a bunch of stuff in there. So just, I don't know. I can't really recommend it down to just one. Okay. I feel like I missed some stuff. Thank you for that chat. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to end the stream there. I appreciate you. Watch for any channels that could form here. But be aware that this is looking a little rangy here still. That looks like a failed breakout. You know, it's hard to say. Just be careful. Everyone be careful. Volume's low right now. Really low. So be careful. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you all soon.